Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Non-Classics. This is episode number 1841 and Doubleshot number 1735. Yeah, this one we're discussing a Daredevil and a Fantastic Four trade. This Fantastic Four one, I'll get to it. It's actually what I'm looking for some time. Look at this website had it. First up, it is Daredevil Epic Collection, Volume 20, Purgatory and Paradis. Yep, this book contains issues of Daredevil Volume 1, 345, 364. 345 and 340 is basically where, with this particular issue, we are wrapping up the black armor era, the red and black armor era for Daredevil, an era that, from what I can tell anyways, I don't really know what people's thoughts on this particular era. I mean, the armor was not good looking, and this era was associated with really bad writing. Yes, the storytelling for this particular one was not. It's like right the fall from grace, we basically put out some really bad stories afterwards, and here it's like somebody told Jan DeMatteis, hey, stop with the crappy stories, or probably switch to editor or something. So here we got to much better storytelling. So basically, Matt Murdock he's peeled up the costume for like one issue, and the next time we see it's shredded for like no reason. And then he runs to this guy wearing the yellow Daredevil costume and claims, oh yeah, I'm the original Daredevil. This, I think, was kind of weird, and we have Matt Murdock beating Daredevil, and we have some random guy beats up Daredevil, steals his costume, and pretends to be Daredevil, and everyone thinks, oh, Matt Murdock is dead. Yeah, this was a weird set of issues. It's like basically the story kept being rewritten. It's like the editor of this book really wanted to get out of this era. He probably was not a fan of this at all. So I wanted to move it out. It kept changing his mind because I felt like basically stuff was changed like on the fly. Though by 250, well, it basically is found out here that Karen finds out that Matt Murdock's alive. And this is also when Foggy finds out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. No, seriously, this is when he finally finds out. And the thing is, Karen has known about this since the 60s. And he's actually gasped more at Karen knowing about his secret identity than Matt being alive. And thanks to some retraining from Stick, yes, Stick pops up here again, which I think at this point in time, it had been about a decade since he was last seen in comics. Then pretty much like right after issue 50, we have the start of the third era for Daredevil. The return to law firm stuff and the start of really good storytelling. That lasts for 25 straight issues. Now, Jan DeMatteis himself does leave after 350. Yes, he does. Yeah, basically in this issue you have Jan DeMatteis, John Russell, Ben Rabb, Carl Ketzler, Joe Kelly, and Ivan Valles Jr. with artwork by Ron Wagner, Corey Norrid, Sean Muniz, Larry Hama, yes, Larry Hama, Puck Furry, Gene Colan returned the book first episode in the 70s, Rick Nanardi, Steve Epping, and Sal Buscema. Yep. Now from 351, they bring in a character named Rosalind Sharp in here, who did pop up in the opening issues of Daredevil Volume 2. Though she stopped appearing after a while, and then popped up briefly during Ed Brubaker's run. That was pretty much the last bit of her. I was looking up. I kept thinking for a long time that this run was her start of her, was basically her first appearance in 351. It turns out, nope, that was not the case. Her first appearance was actually way back in issue 166, the very issue where Foggy married his wife Deborah, who he later divorced. Yes, seriously. And she has got a law firm now. And it's also found out throughout these issues that Rosalind Sharp is in fact Foggy Nelson's biological mother. Yes. And also during this period of time, it's also found out not only that, but Foggy Nelson's dating Liz Osborne. Yeah, this is during a period of time when Harry was still dead. They think, oh, did he come back for New 52? New 52 post One More Day? Yeah, they retconned the inexpensive one. Nope, that was not him. That was a clone. The whole time, it was a freaking clone. There's an expensive for you, and basically takes a bit of time. He does basically accept an offer to basically have the Nelson and Murdoch to basically become part of Rosalind Sharp. So the offer becomes Sharp, Nelson, and Murdoch for this era. And then by Kevin Smith's era, basically he steps down from this law firm. So she's like, okay, so you accept the offer, and you, like, basically made some concessions for this. I get your first client, Mr. Hyde. No, seriously, his first client is Mr. Hyde. He has a fighting other stuff. He also previously just fought Mr. Hyde as Daredevil. He has defended for a couple issues, which I thought was so interesting. Yep. We also had some stuff tying with Onslaught. There's an issue. We have a guest appearance by the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider. Well, Ben Reilly Spider-Man here. But this era is really good. It's like, wow, we got off the crap stuff. We're basically onto the really good stuff here. Yeah, there's also stuff in here with Black Widow. Yeah, Black Widow shows up in here. Yeah, her appearance here is kind of weird, to say the least. Where this kind of starts also a subplot to this era, where Matt Murdock is obsessed with Black Widow for reasons. Yeah, this is a subplot that is kind of weird. Like, he's obsessed with her despite the fact he's dating Karen Page. Yeah. By the way, I love the cover for 250 here. This is basically also last time we saw Marvel Edge in the cover. Because, let me show you 251. Because I believe they dropped that from the cover. Actually, no, it was still there. I thought it wasn't. Now, 250 was the last issue that Jane Amadeus did. John's Roundup does issue 251. Now here we go, 252. That's when they finally dropped it from the title. Yes, there it is right there. Right there from the corner. Yeah, that job is basically... Oh yeah, Bullseye shows up in here. Yes. Then we have Ben Rabb doing issue. I love the artwork in here. It's freaking gorgeous. And of course, this is done by Shama. It's like, wow, this artwork is really good. Yeah. Oh, by the way, 353 is the start of the whole trial with Mr. Hyde. Now, this one's done by Carl Ketzler. Yes. He takes over as the writer of these issues. Also, when Matt Murdock takes up the offer, he accidentally hits Rosalind Sharp in the leg with his walking stick, which I found to be so hilarious. By the way, 354, this was the issue where we had the guest appearance by the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. Yeah, which I kind of talked about this issue already, thanks to, well, it appearing in one of the Spider-Man Epic Collections. 355 basically is a guest appearance by Pyro. Yes, Pyro. And still Carl Ketzler is pretty much the writer of these issues. But these issues are just really, really good. I love this stuff. Oh, Black Tarantula. Yeah, I think this is the first time he fought Daredevil at this point in time. Because I think just prior to this, he had just shown up in the pages of Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, then he pops up here for reasons. And then we have basically him against the Enforcers. I should point something out about Ox in this period of time. This actually is not the original Ox who made his debut back in Amazing Spider-Man number 10. Nope, this is his brother. No, seriously, it's his freaking brother. Yeah, what happened to the original Ox? He died. He fell off a freaking building, and his soul tried to possess Daredevil. And he was dead for a long period of time until he was revived thanks to post one more day. Oh yeah, and also, come Seriously, thank you. Oh yeah. Also, I kind of thought that Guardian Devil was the first time that Daredevil fought Mysterio. But yeah, here is Mysterio. This is the redesigned Mysterio. You're probably thinking, who did this redesign for Mysterio? This was Dan Jurgens. Really? Yep, Dan Jurgens. Yeah, he came with a design when he was a writer and artist for Sensational Spider-Man, and then we have a guest appearance by the frickin' Juggernaut. Yes, the Juggernaut from the X-Men comics. And Onslaught, because Onslaught. Whole illusion stuff. Yep. And the thing is, we don't have a change of writer in these issues. Nope, no change. Yeah, then in 360, he fights the Absorb Man for a few issues. Yep, the Absorb Man, another Thor villain. Which I think this may have been the first time he fought the Absorb Man. Yes, I believe it was. And 361 is the Black Widow showing up here. Yes, this is her costume from the 90s, despite the fact when she shows up a little later, she's back wearing the classic costume for some reason. Oh yeah, we have guest appearance here by the Multi-Man. Who is the Multi-Man, you might ask? Liz Allen's stepbrother. Who was briefly a villain for... And we also guest appearance by the Great Gargoyle of all people. Yes, the Great Gargoyle. First a Thor villain, now an Iron Man villain. Well, it makes sense the fact these two show up here because Thor and Iron Man are no longer alive. At this point in time, they were somewhat dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we have stuff with Mr. Fear in here as well. Maybe it's an allusion to stuff previously. Mm-hmm. Then we have Daredevil getting a dog. Yeah, this may be a nod to the attempted spin-off show from the Spider-Man 90s show, where Daredevil was supposed to have a dog. And my guess is they must throw in as a joke, because the dog only popped up for a few issues. And that was it. Excuse me, yep. We even have Rosalind Sharp going on a swing with Daredevil, and you think, like, oh, let's switch with love interest. Nope. Rosalind Sharp doesn't have a problem with this at all. Not really. And then for the next couple issues, basically fights Insomnia, and that's it. Oh, by the way, this is the issue where Gene Colan guest stars, 363. Yep. Yeah, fights Insomnia for 2 issues, and that's it for this book. Yeah. And next one's going to basically fight Mr. Fear. Really good stuff here. I like this epic collection. I gotta say it's definitely better than the stuff basically that came before this one. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Alright? Alright, next up it is Fantastic Four, Heroes Return, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. Now, I've already discussed Volumes 2 and 3. This book collects the first 15 issues of Fantastic Four, Volume 3, along with Iron Man Volume 3, Issue 14, and I believe the 98 annual, along with the 1/2 issue. These issues is simply Fantastic Four is back, but they can't go back to their home base because that was destroyed the pages of Thunderbolts. So here we move to Pier 4, which is basically their primary base operations for the next few years until it's destroyed by Diablo. And also, they give themselves a new mailman, Billy, the niece of Willis Limpkin. Yes, the original mailman from the 60s. Yep, and if you're curious though, like, does she appear as a regular character in this run? Yes, she does. Well, semi-regular anyways. Yeah, there's also several points where you have Silver Surf pop up in here as well. By the way, the first people that fight is known as the Ruin. Yeah, they're only here just for, like, the opening story arc. They're here just for the first issue. They pop up for a couple issues of this book. Friends or foes, and that was it. Mm-hmm. We also have this woman named Arisa. And she's here just for 2 appearances, and that is it. She's here for this issue, issue 20, and that's it for her. We also have here with the frickin' Mole Man, because of course the Mole Man. Why not have the very first one? And we have Billy Limpkin. Very beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. And here's the weird thing about her. She didn't really appear very much. No, she didn't. I mean, she just appeared just for the first 35 issues. And then she appeared in Fantastic Four True Story, which I haven't covered it, so I haven't read this miniseries yet. But that was her very next appearance. Right after Fantastic Four 35, which I believe this was the very issue appeared for, was destroyed by Diablo. I think it was like the very next issue, I believe it was. Yeah, it was the very next issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like a couple appearances started, appeared sporadically. Her last appearance, it was Fantastic Four 5, 6, and issue by Mark Millar, of all people. Yep, that was her final appearance to date. Which seems so odd. The fact that you bring this very beautiful woman who clearly is probably is drawn to be looking like Mary Jane Watson, and then the character is just dropped for like no reason. Yep. And if you're curious though, is anything we hear with Doctor Doom? Not really per se. There's a crossover with of all people, Iron Man that ties to like the final issue of this book. Now most of the issues, here are your writer for issues. You have Scott Lobdell, Chris Claremont, Ralph Macchio, Carl Ketzler, with also within Kurt Busiek and Roger Stern. Kurt Busiek is the writer of the Iron Man issue pops here. Art by Alan Davis, Saba LaRocca, Rob Lem, Stuart Imnan, Sean Chen, Ozzy Lore, who also was the art writer here, and Andy Williams. I gotta say, for these opening issues of Fantastic Four, they are really, really good. I thoroughly enjoy this stuff in here. And am I looking forward to reading and then reviewing the rest of this era? Yes. Yes, I am. Yep. And I'll probably review it at some point. Mm-hmm. And you're probably thinking, though, like, okay, is there anything really left to cover for this era? Well, hmm. I mean, there's still a good amount left, per se. Mm-hmm. Because I think that, there we go here. Because I think that Volume 3 actually covers a little bit more of this. Mm-hmm. Let me just be sure about that. Three covers 33 to 45 Fantastic Four Sandman and Humans miniseries. Let's see, it says 45, so Well, it kind of covers almost into the Mark Waid run for the book. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. And if you're curious, though, when did Mark Waid start writing the book? He wrote the book with issue 60. Yes, 60. That was when he started writing the book. Mm-hmm. But definitely good stuff here. I can't wait to, read more. Mm-hmm. Of this era of Fantastic Four. So there's that. Okay, so that's it for Cycle Review, and that's it for videos today. Stay tuned for tomorrow, probably for another comic corner or two, and that'll probably be it. Okay, next video. Bye.